Well, the Nats have felt very much at home at Minute Maid Park over the last several years. Don't get here often, but the Nats keep on winning 9 in a row against Houston. Yeah, we'd like to see both of those guys in a lineup together sometime. Yeah, let's go Nats on the road, doing quite well this year. So 9 in a row, that's a big number, but maybe the key number, FP, is 6 or 7, because if the Nats have the lead after that many innings, this bullpen's been locking them down.
Well, we used to say offense is cool, but I'm going with bullpens are cool now, because the way this bullpen has been pitched has just been unbelievable. When you look at last night, Joe Blanton coming in 2/3 scoreless. He had the tie-in run on second base, 4-3 game World Series preview, all kinds of pressure on him. And Jose Altuve flies out with a runner on second. That's only the 26th time Jose Altuve has gone home hitless, and that was his last at-bat. Then you bring on Brandon Kinsler. He went scoreless, and he got the big double play. You see Max Stassi hitting it to Rendon at third, then to Murphy. A great double play turn with the game on the line, the reaction. And then the doctor comes in, 12 for 12 in saves, doing what he does best.
Yeah, and these visits to his office are very brief lately. He's getting ninth inning dones in just a dozen or so pitches.
All fastballs, too, just going right after guys. And there's the last out of the game. A great catch by Howie Kendrick and left, who had another big game for the Nats. It's been fun to watch. It's been boring, but we like it.
Yeah, so the bullpen, 1.43 ERA, 44 innings lately. They've elevated themselves now to the second lowest ERA in the National League as a pen, and that's a great thing. Now, Billy Wagner's a Virginia guy. Sean Doolittle went to UVA. You've been in touch with Billy. You had to hit against that guy. And you have a very interesting comparison between these two lefties.
Well, obviously, Billy, one of the best left-handed closers in the history of the game. Look at 422 career saves. But, you know, they don't look like each other. They don't throw like each other. I think it's more about the demeanor and the makeup of the two. They both go right after you. They both love their fastball. Billy Wagner was 5'10". He threw 96 to 100. Threw his fastball 70% of the time. It just went right after you. Short arm delivery. It got on you quick. And you see him sprinting off the field. The guy was all about being a gamer on the mound. And Sean Doolittle reminds me a lot of him. Billy knows Sean from his days at University of Virginia. They actually know each other. Billy lives in Charlottesville right now. So they don't look a lot alike, 6'2", 5'10", but they go after you with their heaters. They're both left-handed. And it just hit me in the middle of the game last night, being in Houston, that these guys are very, very similar in how they go about their business.
Yeah, a little higher leg kick from the guy on the right. And, of course, he's got the long, long Hall of Fame type numbers, Billy Wagner. And I know you hit against him, and that wasn't a whole lot of fun.
No, I had a short arm delivery. The ball jumped on you. And when you watch guys hit off Sean Doolittle right now, it reminded me of Wagner because the ball gets on top of you. He's got the short arm delivery, very similar.
Good call on the lefties. There's a righty for the Nats tonight. It's Edwin Jackson. I mean, he's been a revelation for our ball club. 6 starts. He's 4-2 with a .292. And his last 2 times out, 13 innings, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts, and a couple of W's. Edwin against Mike Fiers and the Astros. More on the pitchers straight ahead. Houston. Hot outside in the 90s and muggy, but inside very comfortable. Wonderful environment for a ball game. Let's go back to Thursday at San Diego and Edwin Jackson's W. Getting ready for this one, and FP, he was outstanding again. Gave up a bunch of hits, but he scattered 8 of them and gives up 1 run the whole time.
Well, I talked to Edwin about this start yesterday, and he said, you know what? To be the best, you got to beat the best, and he loves going up against good hitting teams. He'll have his work cut out for him tonight against the Astros, the best offense in the American League.
Edwin went 7, 83 pitches. Mike fires. Nats know him from his days in Milwaukee. He's 2-1 career against Washington. They've seen him as a starter and as a reliever.
He's allowed a home run in each of his last 5 starts. So for Fires tonight, the key is keeping the ball in the yard.
Here in Houston, population 2.3 million. The name everybody in town is afraid of is Harvey. It's a hurricane forming in the Gulf. Supposed to be here sometime in the next 36 hours. Hopefully 2 nice baseball games between now and then. Baseball on Masson, brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. Looks like a small crowd gathering. Schools back in here this week, so the Astros were anticipating some smaller crowds. They're averaging almost 31,000 a game here in their beautiful ballpark that's been open since the year 2000. They're 36-28 at home. The Nats now 40 road wins, 40-23. Here's the lineup. And Howie Kendrick, with runners in scoring position since becoming a Nat, where he's hitting .338. About 80 points better than that when it's a clutch situation. So pretty much the regular guys. Andrew Stevenson gets a start in right field. It was Alejandro De Aza last night. And that moves Michael A. Taylor up to the number 8 spot. So here's Mike Fiers. He's 7-8 in 24 starts.
Yeah, lots of different pitches. Fastball averages 98th loss of the season last start on the 17th against Arizona. Gave up just 3 runs in 5 1/3 on 7 hits. Struck out 7 Diamondbacks through 92 pitches. Over the last month, he's walked the first batter of an inning 6 times out of the 29 innings he's pitched. So we'll keep an eye right now on Howie Kendrick and see if he can get on. Defense tonight for the Astros behind Fiers: Reddick, Marisnick, Springer, the outfield, Gonzalez, Bregman left side, Altuve, Gurriel right side, and Max Stassi behind the plate.
Jose Altuve, 10 errors on the year. The Astros have had a few defensive glitches here and there. They've made 80 on the year, and that's 4th from the bottom in the American League.
100%. He's got a saying on the inside of his hat that he just read.
Right on time at 7:10 Central. Mike Fiers ready. Howie Kendrick ready. And it's ball one. On a pitch up and in, it's out of play up to the right side. Howie batted second last night. Huge hit in the third inning right after Tanner Roark had given up some frustrating runs on ground balls that got through the infield. He tied it up with a triple to the deepest part of left center. So Howie now 20 games as a Nat, 16 batted in. Breaking ball way outside.
Yeah, everybody talks about the obvious last night. The bullpen, the last 3 innings, they were great. Howie Kendrick's triple. But to me, Tanner Roark in the third inning, when he had bases loaded, 1 out, and he got out of that jam, was the whole ball game.
High chopper left side, and Bregman came forward, got that short hop, and then Yulieski Gurriel picks the short hop on the other end. 73 beautiful degrees inside Minute Maid Park. It's 90s and smoking outside. Jeff Kellogg, 27-year crew chief, has the plate. Chet Whitson, James Hoy, and Tim Timmons, first, second, and third. Romer Defoe batted 8th last night, went 1 for 3. As a starter, hitting .296.
I believe he had the "there goes the no-hitter" award last night. He did. Third inning.
That took a while. So now the third baseman, Alex Bregman, can back up. In fact, he'll back up and go out to shortstop as the Astros will move into a shift here. Yeah, it doesn't look like an 0-2 count, does it?
Probably his best pitch. Opponent's hitting 194 against that curveball you saw 2 pitches ago. Is he looking through his glove? He has to be. Just over it or through it? But where we're sitting, it looks like he's looking through the webbing for the signs. Check it out.
I'd say through it.
Yeah, through it. Never seen that before. Maybe over the top.
Must have creeped out Wilmer. He stepped out.
It's through that finger hole right there.
1-2. Defoe on a high fastball. It's got to be a frustrating at bat. Probably not 1 strike in the sequence. He did go fishing on 1 and 2 because of the count. 2 down.
It's frustrating because have you ever faced Fiers before? I don't know. I can't see him.
That was Defoe's first time. The Nats 11 of their last 15, 62 and 36. So the pitching's been great. Haven't had the bursts of offense, but everything else working together because of the number 2 item there. And Edwin Jackson, 7 games, 6 starts career against the Astros. 2-1 with a 4.37. And Daniel Murphy has his first base hit of the series right through the shift.
And there goes the no-hitter. No stride right there. Just a little knee tuck. Lift that heel off the ground and go a bullet to right. First knock of the night for the Nats.
His 139th hit of the year, 8th in the league in that department. Ryan Zimmerman is 10th in extra base hits. And 7 of his last 12 have been doubles or home runs.
I think Murph, half of his motivation is getting that seed treat when he gets to first base. Rewards himself every time when he's on base with those sunflower seeds in his back pocket. Probably have a lot of flavor by about the 7th.
By the way, 2 out of 3 against Fiers he is now. Ryan Zimmerman's 2 for 5 with a home run and 2 ribbies, just like Murphy against this 32-year-old right-hander. And to the left side for the shortstop, Gonzalez. Altuve on the receiving end of the 6-4. So the Nats base hit and a runner stranded. Now it's Edwin Jackson on the road. He's got some support. Anthony Rendon, Houston guy. And by the way, his college coach is in the house. More on that later. Here come the Nats. Staring at the Astros lineup here. 287 Houston hitting. So first in all of baseball on that stat, and with 702 runs and 195 homers. And the guy who's the Springer for all of that, their leadoff guy. Great on base percentage, 379. George has hit 28, driven in 70. It's a power pack lineup, and also a veteran presence out there with Carlos Beltran, the DH. Here's Edwin, his 7th start as an Nat.
He allowed 1 earned run for the 3rd time in his last 4 starts on the 17th against the Padres. 7 strong, 8 hits, 4 strikeouts, 83 pitches. 2-1 Nats win in that one. Has allowed an on-base percentage of 200 since the All-Star break.
Matching up with Springer for the first time, and had a funny sound off the bat. He took a walk toward the dugout, but looks like his weapon is intact.
Defense for the Nats tonight: Kendrick Taylor Stevenson, the outfield; Difo Rendon, left side of the infield; Murphy Zimmerman, right side of the infield; and Matt Wieters behind the plate.
Tried to get him on the inside edge under the hands. 2-2. That bounces. Houston has a lineup that features some guys with good on base percentages, like Springer at 379. Altuve, the best at 420. And Marwin Gonzalez at 378. A.J. Hinch has a lot of weapons with which to work. Now that bat busted that time. Rendon and Difo. Wilmer's got the Yango out there. And he was making the exchange to throw it in when he dropped it. So third base umpire Tim Timmons says it is an out.
I think A.J. Hinch wants to take a look at it. So broken bat did not die a hero. Wilmer on the exchange drops it, and it looked like he made a catch. You use two hands, you don't have to worry about it, but one out.
Yeah, with nobody on base, really no need to unload that ball immediately. So he got away with it. It was a catch, and now on one pitch, it's Defoe on a ground ball. 2 down. Alex Bregman retired. That'll bring in Altuve with the bases empty.
Did you see Wilmer looking around like, please don't challenge that? Please don't review that. I caught it. No big deal. 1 out.
Altuve 2 for 6 career with a walk against Edwin Jackson. Steps in as the leading hitter in all of baseball. 359 on the Astros stat sheet. 358, pardon me. And a wide lead. He also has 171 hits.
Yeah, all the amazing numbers about this guy. I'm still wrapping my head around. Last night was only the 26th time all year he's gone home hitless.
So tonight's game number 126.
Yeah.
So 99 games in which he's had at least one hit.
Yeah, about 28, 29 games in a month. That was about a month for me. 26 times going home without a hit.
More numbers. On base percentage. Total bases, 29 steals. He does it all.
I mean, there was a time this year when you looked up at the out-of-town scoreboard and you saw Houston 13, whoever 2, Houston 16, whoever 4. I mean, they were putting up monster numbers. They've hit a little bit of a lull with Correa being out.
And McCann and Gaddis. So a Wilmer Defoe inning here. Crow hopping a bullet to Ryan Zimmerman. Edwin Jackson went to a 3-2 count, first hitter, and it was lights out after that.
Houston, Nationals fans well aware, Max Scherzer placed on the disabled list the other day with inflammation in the left side of his neck. Max took a positive step today, was out on the field here for probably 5-10 minutes before the game, playing catch off flat ground with trainer Paul Lessard looking on. The two had a lengthy chat afterwards, and Max had said the other day after being placed on the DL, he hoped to be ready to start Friday against the Mets, but following his throwing session today. Said that won't be happening. Still feels some tightness in there, and while he's making progress, he's a few days behind where he'd like to be. So still optimistic, guys, in a big picture perspective, saying the delay will be a matter of days, not weeks, but not come around quite as quickly as he would have hoped.
All right, Dan, hopefully nothing to be concerned about. With our Coons.com sideline report, here's Adam Lind. 1-1, top of the second underway, and at Coons over 2 million vehicles sold and counting.
Well, I'm not saying anything, but I think he likes pitching the second game of a doubleheader against the Mets. Just a hunch. I don't know.
So you're liking Sunday.
I'm liking prime time Sunday night. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Everybody gets to watch Max. I don't know. And hey, if it's still hurting, then who cares? Get that thing better and get ready for the stretch drive in the playoffs.
Here's Anthony Rendon. Anthony checks in at 301. On base percentage 404. And that's in the top 6. Likes this ballpark.
Plus, you think about it, you know, travel day, it's going to be a late night tomorrow. We're going to get in about 3 a.m. Well, why would you want to pitch that game? Or why would you want to fly back early and get ready for that? I mean, it all makes sense. Hey, it's not 100%. Why have to pitch on a tough travel day? And if it ain't 100%, wait till it is and take as much time as you need.
Fires and Jackson getting ahead of hitters here, and Anthony will foul it off to the right.
Time of the Nats getting in tomorrow night?
It's going to be late. Figure the game will be over. What about 11:15 Eastern? Probably be at least 12:30, 12:45 before we fly out. That's probably a 3 to 3.5 hour flight from here to DC. 3 hours probably.
Maybe with the hurricane coming in, we'll have some
tailwinds.
Huge tailwinds and make it in like 12 minutes.
I just hope it doesn't make us go around in circles. One and two to Anthony Rendon. Last night, you might say he used the ballpark to his advantage. Fourth inning double to right center off the wall right in front of the Astros bullpen. And then later a clean single to right in the ninth.
7 for 14 career in this ballpark.
Swing and a miss on 84. Second strikeout by Fires.
So if you remember all the way back to yesterday, fourth inning, Matt Wieters did this 2-run tater. So Rendon doubled in front of him and then he homered. He got the trot around the bases. And that was a far one. 427.
So he's one home run away from being the 7th Nat to be double figures in homers. That's perfect to the outside edge. And then the curveball had him taking pretty much a one-handed swing. Fires showing all of his pitches so far stuffed pretty good. 12 pitches, 8 strikes for Edwin in a 1-2-3 first. The solar eclipse did its job. The Nats are celebrating by eclipsing your ticket fees. Purchase your tickets by 10 a.m. on Thursday. Pay no fees on all remaining regular season home games this season. Don't let this offer go dark. End of quotes. Visit nationals.com/tickets and use code SUN, S-U-N, to brighten up your week. Reddick, Gurriel, Gonzalez against Jackson. Josh Reddick 0 for 3 career against Edwin. From a batting average perspective, he's the best home hitter in the American League at .337, along with Avisail Garcia of the White Sox. .298 overall. Had a big night here last night. 2 RBIs early, 3 for 4, all singles. Guides that one out to short, and it's the Wilmer Defoe show on defense.
What a ball hog. 6-6-3, 6-3, 6-3. Let somebody else play, Wilmer.
Here's Yuli Gurriel, a longtime Cuban star. 15 years in the Serie Nacional. The ball's got some carry to it, but he got jammed by Edwin there. And in each inning, the second out has come on 1 pitch. 2 down here in the second.
Coming out to the Fitz on Friday and Saturday night for the P-Nats. Saturday night, the first 1,250 fans receive a dual bobblehead of Jason Worth, who did wear number 44 on a rehab assignment. He texted me last night. He's had so many rehab assignments there. He's got his own number. And Dan Coco will be on that bobblehead. That's presented by Loyal Hygiene Solutions. Head to PotomacNationals.com for more. And Jason coming along. Trey Turner coming along. Can't wait to see those guys back up here.
I would love to be standing in the clubhouse just watching the minor leaguers when Jason Worth walks into an A-ball ballpark. It's got to be very interesting, cool, and maybe a little intimidating for them.
Yeah, they can't have facial hair, so when a big hairy guy walks in, they're probably just looking at that going, that's so cool. I wish I could have a beard.
Well, go have about a 13, 14-year run in the big leagues. You can do whatever you want.
Well, you just look at him and say, you want a beard? Play better.
Marwin Gonzalez.
Yeah, you really rub it in as you drive a different luxury car every single day.
That's something all of us can identify with. Gonzalez having a good year. 6th in the league in hitting, 3rd in on-base percentage. Leads the Astros with 72 runs batted in. Switch hitter, versatile, can move around, play different positions. And against Edwin Jackson career, he has a solo homer in 4 trips and a base on balls. That ball jacked to right. Andrew Stevenson has it go off his glove.
Well, that ball was hit so hard, he broke and opened the wrong way. And because of the velocity on the line drive, it didn't really give him time to recover, so he was trapped. He tried to do the best he could to adjust, but watch. Ball's on his other shoulder. He didn't have time to reverse and turn his back to the infield and find it again, so he just had to open up and hope that his athletic ability took over. But that ball in a different gear took off on Andrew Stevenson. Did they score that a double?
They did. Here's the DH, Carlos Beltran.
If it's a little higher, a little softer, you can make the correction. He just didn't have time. 107-mile-an-hour double.
These two have met 22 times. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Beltran with 1 RBI, 3 for 18 against Edwin. Had the opposite field double off the scoreboard early. Intentionally walked later in a key game situation. Right before Kinsler got that RBI, or rather that double play that kept them from getting any runs in that 8th inning. That was huge. Two-one count. Great breaking ball.
Well, that was how they attacked Beltran last night. A lot of curveballs. Tanner Roark did a nice job of getting out of that jam I was talking about in the 3rd inning last night. Beltran was the last guy. I got him to tap to first base, excuse me, on the 3rd curveball he showed him in the at-bat. Struck out Marwin Gonzalez on 3 of them.
Beltran trying to get one out to left center. Howie Kendrick covers it. So after we saw that big curveball on the Mercedes-Benz pitch cast, the next one lined to left center. Kendrick took care of it. No score after 2.
Third. Check out Tanner Roark. Did a really nice job last night. First Toyota case for kids. Washington area Toyota dealers help children and their families by making a donation of $37 to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by an Nats pitcher this season. So we'll go back to last night. Tanner struck out 7 Astros. The biggest one, I thought, just talked about it, Marwin Gonzalez with the bases loaded, 1 out in the 3rd, 1-run game. I said circle that inning if the Nats win, and that was serious gut check time for Tanner Roark, who had a great curveball last night. Really leaned on it. Probably threw it more than I've ever seen him throw it, but it was working and he went to it.
Yeah, he was in the midst of a sequence where he pitched 73 times in 3 innings, and then he was able to get the Nationals 2 outs into the 6th. Got the win. Tanner Roark, 10-8. 1-0 to Michael A. Taylor. That's going to carry out to the right fielder, and Springer battling the lights here. And because of the roof, the lights aren't real high in this ballpark, and he was looking right into it.
There's a big scoreboard over the Nats dugout at the top of the third deck. I wonder if he lost it in that. Right there. Oops. Man, that can get squirrely if you lose it in a scoreboard. We've seen guys on relay throws from the outfield on the ballparks that have the scoreboard and the fence actually lose the ball on the relay throw.
Here's Andrew Stevenson, 6 for 37 as a big leaguer.
That had distance.
I was going to say he could go Lance Berkman here and just drop one into the Crawford boxes. Another great player from Rice who played here did that a lot. And I'm not talking about pulling it. He did it left-handed a lot. Stevenson hacks this one out to where he plays. It's going to be a one-hopper up against the wall. And Andrew Stevenson checks in with big league hit number 7. He's got a bunch of family and friends here from Louisiana tonight. And that's his first big league extra base hit.
So if they're all from Louisiana, that's some good extension by Andrew right there for the one-out double. It's probably the hardest ball he's hit as a big leaguer.
I think you're right.
Nice swing.
Nats go 2 for 9 first time around.
Nice swing. I almost said, let's see if Edwin can pick him up, because I'm not used to American League Baseball.
Well, if he comes into the dugout having scored a run, Edwin might do just that. It's up to Howie here, who bounced out to the third baseman to start the ball game.
Not a fan. I enjoy seeing pitchers hit. Maybe I'm the only one, but I like it. I like the strategy. I like double switches. I like pinch hitters at tough times for the manager to make that decision. I like the sacrifice bunt. Maybe I'm old school, but I'm not a fan of the DH.
I rue the day when baseball makes everybody play the same way, because you know which way that's going to go if they do.
I just sounded like Crash Davis a little bit. That's scary.
1-1. Howie at take, but it's a called strike anyway. Mike Fiers really playing with the corners here early in the game.
Well, he has to. He doesn't have the overpowering stuff to throw it with any kind of plate. His fastball average is 90, so he's got to shave corners, throw off speed and fastball counts, and keep the ball down. All the cliches. He has to do it.
Astros consider him their most consistent and durable starter this year. Most starts, 24. Number 1 in innings. 9 quality starts. 13th time he pitches in this ballpark. Howie sees it low, 3-2.
It's a good take. It's not an easy take. It means he's seeing it big. Got a really good arm in center in Marisnick. Reddick's got an accurate arm. He's shallow in left. And Springer has an accurate average to above average arm in right. So you got to giddy up if you're Andrew Stevenson on a base hit.
And Howie looking to drop one into center. It's going to fall and then take a little bounce on Marisnick, but hard to read that one for the base runner. And it's first and third, 1 out.
Oh, good job of battling with 2 strikes. Flip it out there, see what happens. Tough read for Stevenson at second base. Marisnick can really go get him in center, so he had to wait for it to drop. And now Wilmer Defoe has a chance to give his ball club a lead. Tough read, right? Squares up to it. A lot of English on that ball. Look at it, still spinning in Marisnick's glove when he went to go get it.
Defoe saw a couple of pitches in his first at bat that got him to an 0-2 count that were not in the zone.
Dusty will hit and run in this situation.
He's got some good legs out there and in the batter's box. Ahead in the count. And Defoe's going to pop it up. Center field, Marisnick. Stevenson's fast. Here he comes. The throw is up the line, and the Nats take the lead 1-0 as Jake Marisnick missed home plate by about 20 feet. Defoe, RBI number 17.
Good at bat, nice inning. Would have been real close at the plate with an accurate throw. Stevenson's fast. You got to go right here. Medium fly ball. I think Marisnick could have got behind that a little bit more and had more momentum going to the plate. He kind of caught that flat-footed, had to start up again, and then shanks the throw big time. That's a strong arm, but not accurate. 1-0 Nats.
There's Murphy, base hit first time. By the way, something brewing in Pittsburgh. Rich Hill with the Dodgers, scoreless with the Pirates. Perfect through 6 innings tonight. Dodgers have 7 hits but haven't been able to score. Something else brewing with the Cubs. 9-0 at Cincinnati. And they're trying to win their 5th in a row, and they're showing signs of starting to dominate in that division. Had a blowout win last night.
I would hate going back to Chicago again. So let's go inside the numbers with Jeep. Extra base hits. NL leaders since 2016. It's a lot of extra base hits.
By the way, Anthony Rizzo played an inning at third base last night, throwing left-handed after Chris Bryant was hit by a pitch.
Yeah, I'm over how smart the Cubs are, just for the record. I mean, great. I love the ballpark. I love the city. I think Joe Maddon's a great manager, but I'm just over how smart the Cubs are. Four outfielders, left-handed third baseman, second baseman. I mean, it's great, but
One-on-one to Murphy here, and Howie Kendrick on the mind of Mike Fiers. Murphy on the ground, and that's the shortstop Gonzalez on the shift way over there. The Nats pick up a run on the Stevenson double, the Kendrick single, and the Defoe sac fly.
weekend, check it out. 7:05 on Friday, 4:05 on Saturday, double dip on Sunday, 1:35 on Mass and 8:08 on ESPN. So we used to have to tell you, the good players from the other teams, your Nationals are coming home, and they're one of the best teams in baseball. That's all you need to know. Visit nationals.com today.
4-1 road trip so far. What else is new? Bottom three, Max Stassi, the catcher, Jake Marisnick, the center fielder, and the right fielder, George Springer. Max Stassi getting some big league time with Evan Gattis hurt, Brian McCann hurt. 26 years of age. They got him in a trade with Oakland that involved Brad Peacock, a former Nat, and Jed Lowry going to Oakland. He's had 4 cups of coffee with the Astros in previous years. Total of 30 games in 4 years with Houston. And when he comes up, he's held his own, hitting .291. 2 for 12 this time around. Hit a monstrous home run the other day, and he's driven in 4. Originally drafted 4th round by the A's back in '09. Has been battling for 8+ years in the minor leagues. 2-1 pitch.
He's got a tag hanging out. Good friends tuck in tags. If you got your tag hanging out, Carp, I'll always tuck it in for you. So he needs a friend on the bench to tuck that in for him.
Yeah, and he's on camera for an extended period of time.
He is.
3-1 pitch, and Stassi out ahead.
He had that big at-bat last night. Bases loaded, 1 out. Brandon Kinsler throwing him sinker after sinker. He was fouling balls off just like that, and he ended up hitting one to Anthony Rendon at third base. I talked to Chris Spire today about where Rendon was playing. I said he was playing shallow with the bases loaded. What was the thinking there? He said, well, Anthony doesn't like to play in no man's land, meaning, not deep where he's playing right now, but, not in between, because you get in between hops.
3-2, and that was close. He takes it for ball 4.
So he likes to play deep, but in that situation with the bases loaded, if you play deep, you're not going to turn the double play. He doesn't like to play, I guess, between the baseline and deep because he feels like he gets in between hops. So they thought with the sinker in on Stassi, they might get a swing and bunt where he could come home with it. And they also wanted to be comfortable, and he's more comfortable playing in that situation. And we talked about it the whole at-bat. That's why he was playing so shallow with the bases loaded and 1 out and the game on the line.
Yeah, that was an interesting sequence. The Astros sacrifice with Marwin Gonzalez. That took the bat out of Carlos Beltran's hands. And then Stassi hit into the double play.
Yeah, that was a ball game. That and Tanner in the 3rd.
Yep. Jake Marisnick hitting .323 in this ballpark. Haven't seen him in a while. We saw him early in his career with Miami. Back in 13 and 14. High in the air, left center. Michael A. Taylor eyeballing it. The ball carried about 395 for a long first down.
So last night, game on the line, 8th inning, and look where Rendon's playing, right in the baseline. And he was on the grass maybe 2 or 3 pitches before that. Chris Spire backed him up to where you just saw him. Generally speaking, in that situation, you want to give yourself a little bit of range, but more importantly, you want your third baseman to be comfortable. And where he was playing last night, he was comfortable. Ended up getting it in between hop. But he still made the play, and hey, it wasn't pretty, but it was a huge double play.
Nats have turned to 107 this year. Springer pop up to Defoe, short left field near the line. First time up. Low in the zone for a strike. Good pitch if you're looking for a grounder. On a breaking ball away, Right to Taylor, just a few steps he had to take to his left. Something about the second out of an inning, Edwin keeps getting them like early in the count, really early. Alex Bregman is next. Last report from Pittsburgh, Rich Hill perfect through 7. Good action on that slider right now.
Hill with 73 pitches.
Yeah, how about that?
9 strikeouts, no walks, obviously.
And the odd thing of all, along with that, scoreless game. That's why I loved Max's 20 strikeout game so much. The game was on the line. The whole night it was a close game, right down until the time he struck out his 20th guy.
3-2, right?
Yeah. Gave up a run in the top of the 9th to make it a 1-run game. One and two now. Jackson to Bregman, who bounced out to Defoe first time. This fly ball near the right field line, and it's going to take Stevenson deep into the corner. Andrews got the fair ball, and the inning is over. Edwin Jackson keeps pitching beautifully for the Nats. By University of Maryland, University College. Not to the day, but against tonight's starter, Mike Fiers. Ryan Zimmerman back in 14 at Milwaukee. 2-run homer, top of the 16th inning. He had made a catch in regulation, like the bottom of the 9th, to keep the Nats from losing that game, and he went deep, and the Nats won the game for Ryan Zimmerman. It was his 3rd of the year. A marathon game and a moment in Nats history. Back 3 years in June. Now Mazda gives us our interleague since 2016 matchup numbers on the due up for the 4, 5, 6 guys, Zimmerman, Lindan, Rendon. Ryan, 6-4 ground ball first time. Pitch up and he couldn't stop his swing.
Go to Milwaukee next trip. Can't wait.
I love Miller Park. One of the great places to watch a game.
It is.
Great sight lines like we have here. We're about the same altitude and length behind home plate here as we are in Milwaukee. A fantastic indoor facility.
Sleeper town too in the summertime.
Yeah.
Not the same without the pheasant poppers and the tailgate party with the Zimmermans. 2 ends.
True, and the means with which to wash them down.
Well, after the game.
Zimmerman up the middle. Looks like it had enough on it to make it a hit, and it did. Ryan Zimmerman has the Nats' 4th hit, and for him, first of the series in 6 at-bats.
Well placed. Look at this. Just kind of roll up the middle on the shortstop side. And Altuve's got too much momentum going to the left. Got rid of it quick. But Ryan's smelling the knock all the way, hustling, as he always does. Even if it's right at somebody, this is how he runs every time.
You know, one of my images from this season about Ryan, with all the great things he's doing, is how well he's getting down the line, running the bases, using his feet at first because he had the plantar fasciitis a couple of years ago. Took a while to figure out the inserts and all that stuff he had to use in his shoes, and it was just driving him crazy. It's a very painful condition with which to deal, and he's moving around so great this year. So the shift is on for Lind, who bounced out to Jose Altuve, who was in right field last time up. This time he's on the infield dirt. And Lind will go opposite field with a fly ball that'll go right to Josh Reddick. Next up is Anthony Rendon, local kid, grew up here in Houston. Went to a couple of different high schools. And Anthony, of course, would go on to a great career at Rice University. His coach is here tonight. That is 81-year-old Wayne Graham, who's been the head coach at Rice for 25 years. Many years in JUCO ball and high school ball coaching. He actually played professionally for 10 years in the minor leagues. And it's so great to have Coach Graham here, a great baseball man, Texas native. And a quick story he told me about Anthony Rendon, who hits one down the line, hooking foul. Coach had never seen him play in person in high school. He said they had a ton of tape on him, and he loved the swing. And the first time he actually saw him in person was in batting practice the first day of workouts. And he said, I looked at Anthony Rendon's wrists when he hit the ball. It reminded me of Hank Aaron. He said, I told all my coaches, don't touch this kid. Don't do a thing to his swing, to his stance. Let him do his thing, and the rest is history. Tapper, third base way for Alex Bregman. His only play is first. Zimmerman to second, 2 down. And by the way, he's still planning on coaching as long as he can. About to start his 26th year at Rice University.
Well, that's why he's been coaching for 26 years and been to the College World Series so many times, because he knows when to stay away from a guy and maybe not coach him.
Exactly.
That's hard for a lot of college coaches. They want to coach you up. They want to overcoach, a lot of them. But the good ones, if they see somebody like Anthony Rendon, say, hey, don't mess this kid up. Just let him do what he can do because he's a natural.
College World Series champs in 03. I said, how many players you think you put in the big leagues? She said, a few. Well, Jose Cruz Jr., Lance Berkman, Anthony Rendon, Tony Cingrani. I think Paul Yanish, pretty slick fielding shortstop who's now coaching, is a Rice guy. The list goes on and on. There's Matt Wieters, struck out first time. Norm Charlton. I'm looking at a list that's at least 38 players long of Rice Owls, not necessarily for Coach Graham, but Rice guys who played in the big leagues. It's pretty prolific. Small school here in town, they do great things. Nats trying to make it 2-0. Wieters, RBIs number 45 and 46 last night. Swings through that one, and the Nationals are gone in the 4th. Zimmerman led off with a base hit. Third runner stranded.
Houston, Edwin Jackson serving up another solid start so far. He's been effective and very pitch efficient over his last few starts, something that he credits to his mechanics being especially sound. And talking to Edwin the other day, he says his arm slot had drifted a bit over the last couple seasons, something that he noticed after going back and watching film. And that can be something that's tough to correct, because when your arm slot drifts over time, muscle memory sets in and makes it kind of hard to break those bad habits. So Edwin went through the process of trying to slowly correct that arm slot. He says with him, it's never been stuff that's been the issue. It's been a matter of consistency. And he feels the adjustments that he's made coming into this season have him in a great place mechanically, and along with a better focus on the mental side of the game, guys, he says he's in a really good spot to have more consistent success.
Good focus on your part, Dan, with Orbit right behind you doing things you could not see. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting at Coons. With our sideline report, he's become one of the biggest pranksters in baseball, this Orbit guy.
Oh my, that's the best report ever. And they're going at it right now. They've had a running feud over the years. A friendly feud. Well, I lost it right there. I don't even know what Dan said. I was just laughing through the whole thing.
Yeah, nice report, Dan.
Yeah, that was great, Dan. Nailed it.
Yeah, Orbit's getting an increasing reputation for doing fun things with the other ball clubs. He and Howie Kendrick were going at it on the field before the game. And
tough job, Dan. Keep it up. Keep up the hard work down there.
Lifted to right center by Altuve, and Stevenson had it, and then it fell out of his glove, and Altuve is going to third base. Michael A. Taylor was there. Stevenson caught it, couldn't squeeze it.
That's Michael A. Taylor's ball all the way. I mean, you can't fault Stevenson for the effort, but the center fielder has priority, and I don't know if it was too loud and they couldn't hear Michael A. calling him off, but this is Taylor's ball all the way. And Stevenson just ran interference right there. Michael A. was camped. Stevenson is flying all out, and that's a guy that's played center field the majority of his career, not knowing that he has to give way to the center fielder there. But I wasn't out there, and I don't know who was screaming what. Yeah. But just looking at the replay, that's Michael A. Taylor's ball all the way.
And it was obvious, FP, on the replay, Michael had slowed down and was preparing to catch the ball.
That's just a young, excited mistake.
So 2 adventures in the outfield for Stevenson tonight. Josh Reddick a chance to tie the game, whether he gets a hit or not.
I'll tell you this, and not making an excuse because it was an aggressive mistake, and you'd like to see that over a scared mistake. But the first time as a young player you play in front of your family in the big leagues, you want to show them how great you are and why you got to the big leagues, and sometimes you try too hard. Been there, done it.
One-0 pitch. So this one out to left center, easily deep enough. Michael will launch one. Altuve coming home. Tie game. Astros in this series have scored 4 runs. Josh Reddick has driven in 3.
Yeah, he called that one. Howie Kendrick peeled off. So 1 toward right center, 1 toward left center. Pretty good throw by Michael A. Altuve just too fast. He knows he played center field. He just went after that a little too aggressively.
Here's Yuli Gurriel. Yeah, Michael would be the first to tell you that early in his Nats career, he had some uncertain moments out there. Last couple of years has done a great job of being a take charge guy. This one lifted straight up on the infield. Defoe, 2 outs. Here's Marwin Gonzalez, who doubled off the glove of Stevenson first time up. Big shift on. 1-0 pitch in there. Dodgers didn't score in the 8th. Rich Hill pitching. Bottom 8. Perfect so far.
You know, if Jose Tabata were still there,
Just send him up there.
set him up there and lean into one.
He wasn't with the Pirates long after that, by the way, as we well remember.
Hey, I talked to a few Pirates coaches the next day, and they didn't throw him under the bus. They said, well, we would have preferred if he would have swung there. Meaning, hey, he could have broke it up swinging. He's a good hitter.
Yeah. 2-1. Chopper left side, and here comes Rendon. Glove, throw, safe. Chad Whitson with the call, and for now, Gonzalez 2 for 2.
Yeah, no chance here for Anthony. Did the best he could. That's a nice play. But Gonzalez smelling the hit was boogieing right out of the box.
Carlos Beltran light out to the gap in left center. And now on 87 pitches, Rich Hill is perfect in Pittsburgh through 8. Can the Dodgers get him a run? If they don't score in the top of the 9th and he gets through the bottom, then what do?
Let him go till his arm falls off. It's a perfect game.
Great breaking ball to the left-handed batter. Goes out to get it, then it just dives on Beltran. Mercedes-Benz on the pitch cast.
He's been having trouble with the soft in this series. I think his line out in the first was on a fastball up. Wow, Matt Wieters dropped that pitch, was frustrated about dropping it, and he got the strike call. I mean, you never used to see this, but with all the boxes and pitch casts nowadays, these umps are graded on where the ball goes through the zone. And you remember that new glove he was breaking in? I think that's it.
Marwin Gonzalez at first. 1-2 count and a check of him. Gonzalez doesn't run much, 5 out of 7. Yeah, staying off speed there. That was Beltran. 435 career home runs. Got a chance to go over 1,600 RBIs this year. On the shift, that's Murphy out there to a knee. Pops up and throws out Carlos Beltran. So the adventure in right center and the sac fly. We've got a 1-1 game. Rio Astros. Good ball game. Top 5 coming up. Taylor, Stevenson, and Kendrick. And the Nats road ahead, driven by your local Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyFirst.com. Steven Strasburg and Dallas Keuchel. One of the best matchups in baseball. Well, maybe this month, coming up tomorrow night. Steven 10-4. Then we're home on Friday. It's going to be a 4-game weekend with the Mets. WUSA 9 joins us 1:30 Sunday. ESPN has the Sunday night game, makeup game from earlier. And there's Steven, who was outstanding in San Diego last Saturday. Michael A. Taylor fly ball to right, first time up. Hoping it gets out of play is Michael A. It's going to be close, and as it turns out, plenty of room for Alex Bregman. Next up, Andrew Stevenson, whose double led to the Nats' only run back in the 3rd. The Dodgers just went out in the top of the 9th without scoring. Rich Hill's going to take the mound with a perfect game in a 0-0 contest.
Did you see the Sports Illustrated cover?
Did not.
Had Justin Turner on it getting Gatorade dumped on him, and it said best team ever with a question mark. I mean, if you believe in jinxes and that sort of thing, the Sports Illustrated cover jinx.
At least they put a question mark.
I think they did.
To cover themselves.
Let me look.
Anybody who calls a team the best team ever on the 23rd of August is a fool. Yeah, question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Hitters count in a hitter's ballpark. And Stevenson lays off. He'll be on base for the 2nd time. First walk issued by Mike Fiers. Good speed down there at first. Howie Kendrick, a guy who can handle the bat, steps in.
All right, Tuesday, August 29th. Mark this down. Bryce Harper starting lineup action figure. It's presented by SAIC. First 25,000 fans to get in the ballpark as the Nats play the Marlins. You get this collectible Harper action figure. Visit nationals.com today. That is cool. I've seen it. It's cool. Get there early. You're going to have to.
Oh, Stevenson had a lean, and the last thing Andrew needs now is to get picked off.
Just a delayed return to first. Didn't really have a lean or a jab step going. Kind of a little one, but.
Yeah, slight delay as the Astros took a look at it. They declined to challenge. That ball almost grazing Howie's jersey.
I think Logan Forsythe just made an error.
Kendrick lays off. It's a strike anyway.
It's a good pitch.
Not a bad pitch to take the other way.
It's just a pitcher strike. That's a good pitch. Stevenson, 72 stolen bases in the minors, only caught 25 times.
Didn't have much of a lead that time as they threw over again. That was a right field swing. And now the count 1-2.
StatCast is powered by AWS. I'm going to show you Andrew Stevenson's lead. Creeping out to that 12-foot mark almost. I'd say 11 if I had to guess. I mean, you have a chance for a walk-off no-hitter in Pittsburgh right now. They bunted him to second. If they get a hit or there's another error, you could have a walk-off no-hitter.
Could. Harvey Haddock's once pitched, I think, a 10-inning game perfect and end up losing. Lefty with the Pirates many, many years ago. Off speed, Kendrick IDs it 2-2.
And 16 stolen bases against Fires this year, only 2 caught stealing. So you think in a 2-2 count, good off-speed pitch count.
Yeah.
But if you're Andrew Stevenson, this is where you're going.
One for one stealing as a big leaguer. Howie got jammed with that one to the left side for Bregman. And they turned the 5-4-3 around the horn double play. Halfway through the game, it's a battle of 2 veteran starters doing their thing tonight. 1-1. Astros. Things happen in strange ways in this game. Tonight's pitching matchup, and Jeep brings us the story. 2 starters who've thrown major league no-hitters. Mike Fiers tossed one with the Astros in 15. Edwin Jackson, his with the D-backs 5 years before that, and their manager, both of them managed by A.J. Hinch on those nights, who managed the D-backs for 2 years and has been with the Astros for the last couple.
Check out Edwin's no-hitter.
Wow.
8 walks, 149 pitches.
Yeah, fires 134. Wow. Think you need to skip a start after something like that, or at least could push back a day or two.
I think Edwin did miss a start after that, if I'm not mistaken.
I know. Was it Johan Santana a couple of years ago threw between 130 and 140 in his Mets no-hitter?
That was it for him, though. I think he broke down after that, and that's all she wrote.
Wow, the Pirates did not score, and Rich Hill walks off the mound with a no-hitter. Not a perfect game anymore because of the error, but a no-hitter through 9 innings. One to Stassi, who walked first time up. Edwin's only free pass of the night. Swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball. Down and away. First strikeout tonight.
Yeah, 4-pitch, see a nasty slider for him. I love this over the top camera. You just see all the break on the pitches. Edwin with a nice slider there to Stassi. It's been so fun to watch Edwin pitch with a purpose for the first time in a while. A bigger cause. Talked to him yesterday about being on a winning ball club and kind of feeding off what Max and Steven and Gio are doing.
Jake Marisnick fly ball to Taylor. First time.
Yeah, those guys. And Tanner, too.
That ball was hanging a bit on the inside edge. It's high and deep and hits way up there, and a home run. Jake Marisnick, his 15th. Houston on top by a run.
This one's center cut slider that just probably wanted to bounce it like the one he just threw to Max Stassi. This one hung up a little bit, and you see Matt Wieder's reaction. He just looks away. As soon as there was contact, you knew that one was going. A high home run for Marisnick, number 15.
Yeah, hitting above the walkway there. There's a yellow line right at the feet of those Astros fans who stand out there. That's their 196th home run of the year. And Marisnick continues his fine hitting in this ballpark. Right around 330 at Minute Maid this year. Top of the order, George Springer. And by the way, Harvey Haddock's in that game way back when. Pitched 12 perfect innings before losing. Went 12 2/3 as it turned out. A different era in terms of pitchers going way deep. And Rich Hill, kind of a throwback game tonight. That ball gets through Edwin, but Murphy's there on a close play. Got him.
Well, that ball was slowed down by Edwin. Then it was going to be a tough play for Daniel Murphy, and he couldn't get it out of his glove and made it real close. So maybe as a second baseman, you're anticipating that the pitcher gets it. Look, he's playing basically right behind him. That one gets by, and I watch him with a little trouble on the exchange. Still gets the speedy Springer. Nice play. Stay with it. 2 down.
1-4-3. Alex Bregman is next.
Did you give that a 1-4-3?
The official score did.
Did they?
It's good enough for me.
I think I would give that a 4-3. I don't think one touched it.
He made the call pretty quickly. Kind of like the defensive indifference last night.
I think you were going.
We don't have to rail against this one.
1 to 4 to 3.
I don't know. I think they could have done that faster.
No, one missed it. Sorry, that was 4-3 with a whiff.
Bregman, a ground ball to short, fly ball to right. There was a redirect, but that might have been because it hit the side of the mound. 0-2. We're pretty protective of our game here. We want everything to be just right before it goes into the official record.
Yeah.
So I think fans are like that. Broadcasters are, writers are, players. They probably couldn't care less about a call. That's out there and bouncing. 2-2.
All right. We're going to show it again.
Target in. And a ball hit hard to left. Here comes Howie, but he has to play it on the hop. And Alex Bregman has his first hit. That extends the inning to Jose Altuve.
A nice swing right here by Bregman. We told you he's probably the hottest Astros hitter. It's been on fire out of the break. Actually, since July 4th, he's been lighting it up. 333, 16 doubles, 7 homers since the 4th of July.
And his latest deal with that hit is a 5-game hitting streak. So here's Altuve. High fly ball, right center. Stevenson's ball all the way this time. Andrew has it. And the Astros will score on the Marisnick home run. Nats fans know there's a long way to go in this one. Top of the 6th coming up. We'd love to see generations hanging out together in the Curly W. For the Unlimited Baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. So we've got a couple of guys going well here. One on the road, one at home. Daniel Murphy has a base hit in 2 trips tonight. And Josh Reddick hitless tonight, but he has a sac fly. And he had 3 knocks in his yard last night. Each the best in their leagues, brought to you by T-Mobile. Here's Defoe with Murphy to follow. Top 6. .66 pitches, 43 strikes for Mike Fiers. Reddick's starter tonight. Wilmer Defoe. Fly ball to center, deep enough back in the 3rd to score Stevenson. There's a big old Levon type curveball that ends up inside.
Do you see Reddick's hat? I mean, that's the whole pine tar rag on the side.
Got a lot going on. Defoe gets under one. George Springer, the right fielder. Altuve was waving his arms, but the outfielder, much easier play. Murphy and Zimmerman now.
And some players do that just so they can get a grip on the baseball when it comes to them if they throw somebody out, especially when it's hot and humid. And I don't think that's illegal because you're an outfielder. If I saw an infielder with a hat like that, though, you know, because there's strikeouts where you whip it around the infield, I would think he's loading the ball up for the pitcher. Outfielder, you know, how many balls is he really going to get tonight? I've heard stories of infielders actually scuffing baseballs for pitchers, where they take the eyelids of their glove with the pliers, bend them, the metal eyelid, bend them, and when the ball is thrown around, they just kind of hit the ball on their glove as they throw it around and give it a little scuff for the pitcher. And if the ump ever came out to check the pitcher, well, he'd say, hey, here's my glove. You know.
I think that's horrible. But things have been done. Shortstop out, and this is an easier play for the left fielder. There's Josh Reddick, 2 down. Heard tales of catchers, maybe a little scuff off the shin guards before they throw a ball back out there.
Well, that you can see. I mean, there's so many cameras now. You know, this is back in the 90s. I'm not going to say who or where. But, you know, players bounce around, and you'll be talking to pitchers on the bench, and they say, last year when I was here, so-and-so playing shortstop on the throw down between innings would catch the ball, scuff it up, and then throw it around the infield so that so-and-so could make the ball move when he pitched.
Yeah. Well, I remember something you said several years ago. If you were on deck or leading off an inning and you saw the last warm-up pitch caught on a hop by the catcher, you'd have the umpire throw the ball out.
Yeah, any little imperfection on the baseball, if you're a veteran pitcher, you can make the ball do things. It's kind of the whole, you know, holes on the wiffle ball principle. If you put them on one side, it breaks the other way. Well, if you have a scuff on one side, I mean, we used to play catch with them. I couldn't believe how much the ball moved, and we just played catch to warm up.
1-1. Zimmerman, wow. He thought he did a good job by laying off that pitch. And Josh Harrison has just hit a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 10th against Hill, the Dodgers left-hander. Wow. Rich Hill, perfect through 8, no-hitter through 9, loses in 10. That ball forcing the center fielder Marisnick back. Zimmerman hit it hard. Fly balls to 9, 7, and 8 in the 6th inning. Brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. 9-pitch inning for Mike Fiers, who's on a nice roll here. 75 pitches in Houston through 6.
The solar eclipse was here And the Nats are celebrating by eclipsing your ticket fees. Purchase your ticket by 10 a.m. on Thursday, August 24th to pay no fees on all remaining 2017 regular season home games. Visit nationals.com/tickets and use code I can't see it all anymore to brighten up your week. Or use code SUN.
Reddick, Gurriel, Gonzalez. Edwin Jackson, 70 pitches through 5. And as mentioned, Fires 75 through 6. A couple of veteran guys. 133, Edwin. 132, Fires. Pretty good duel. That ball hit hard. It's going to plug the gap. Taylor to cut it off. Reddick runs well. Michael A. airmails the throw, but he would have been to second base easily anyway. Now 3 of the last 5 Houston hitters have hit safely.
Well, nice swing right here. Fastball down. He just digs it out. Reddick has been doing everything in this series. I mean, what an impressive player. Remember, he was with the Dodgers last year, and he dropped that Ryan Zimmerman fly ball in right field. I think it was in Game 4. And kind of opened the floodgates at Dodger Stadium. Remember, he went in for defense in right field.
That's right.
And it looked like a ball he should have caught. Didn't come up with it, and the Nats scored a bunch of runs, if I remember right.
There's Gurriel, who has flied out twice.
Front door cutter. Started off the plate and ran it back. Cut it back.
One and he popped him up. Short center. Murphy called off by Defoe. First out, 6th inning.
See, that's a situation where if you're Gurriel, you're up 2-1, right? Did you see him try to force that to the right side? And Murphy waving fair catch, and then Wilmer calling him off. With this short porch here and left, if they're going to throw you in as a right-hander with a lead, instead of trying to move the runner, and you know what they're doing to you, turn and burn. You know, make it 4-1, or at least have that thought process going through your mind.
Along with Fenway, coziest left fields in baseball.
You know, I love the team approach, but there's certain situations and game times where you can kind of abort the team approach and say, look, if he's going to try to pound me in like he did the first 2 pitches, I'm going to turn the fan on and make this 4-1.
Gonzalez 2 for 2. Double off the glove of Stevenson. And then that bouncer 2 innings ago in front of Anthony Rendon.
You know, we had Austin Hedges in San Diego walking up the Careless Whisper, but Josh Reddick was the guy that started that whole thing in Oakland. That was his walk-up song for a couple of years as an athletic, and it got a lot of play. And I was always from the schools, you can't steal somebody else's walk-up song. You can't plagiarize. It's plagiarism. Even if you think it's the coolest walk-up song ever, you can't steal another player's walk-up song. And players will tell you that. And I'm pretty sure Austin Hedges knew that Josh Reddick had it, because there was a lot of publicity about, you know, George Michael, Careless Whisper. He's walking up to a slow start. All the Oakland A's fans would sing it along every at-bat. And we used to sit in the dugout and go, that walk-up song is awesome. You know, Ken Caminiti used to walk up to Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. You know, Trevor Hoffman used to come into Hell's Bells. You know, you sit there in the dugout and judge players' walk-up songs. And, you know, if they have a bad one, you let them know too. I mean, you'll scream it out from the dugout. Nice walk-up song. Or that's brutal.
(3-1). So Edwin pumping strikes to Marwin Gonzalez, back in the count. Best one ever, Michael Morris, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, it's top. Chipper Jones had Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. That was a good one.
A lot of relievers use that now.
Larry Walker, I think. I'm trying to think of what his was. Maybe Larry Walker's was
same thing.
Crazy Train.
Yeah. 3-2, 1 out. Nissan with this AB, everything away to Gonzalez, the switch hitter. Pitch number 7 about to happen.
Long look.
This one out by short center field. Defoe waving his arms, and now he'll get called off by Taylor. On this team, if you're the first guy to call a ball, evidently there's no way you're catching it. 2 down.
Well,
it's good communication.
The outfielder has priority. You know, if it's on the grass, it's yours is the rule. If you can get to it in a timely fashion where you're not out of control, because the outfielder's going back, you're coming in and you have a better angle and a better look at the baseball. So even though you like Wilmer going out there like that because he's enthusiastic, that's Michael A's ball all the way.
Carlos Beltran is next. And he just goes to first. They played his walk to first song. Respect.
Walk Like a Man.
It was Aretha.
Walk This Way.
Please don't walk like an Egyptian.
Walk Like an Egyptian.
Max Stassi, a walk and a strikeout. I had a walk-up song once.
That's not a song.
I was on the Junkies one morning.
Yeah?
They said, what would you like as your walk-up song? I told them.
See You Later, Alligator?
No, it was Yours Is No Disgrace by Yes.
It should have been See You Later, Alligator.
Not something you'll find on any of the pop charts. I made them research. They came up with it. Good fastball. Inner edge up around the letters. Well, here's the big difference in the DH, no DH thing. Got a guy who had a home run last time up on deck in the number 9 spot. The difference in the game rather than a pitcher. Jake Marisnick. 2-1.
We had Stassi with the slider down the way last time. I'm trying to keep this a 2-1 ball game. Big part of the game. It's getting late. That's with 9 outs left to play with.
2-1, and that breaking ball is just outside.
Close pitch. That's more than a close pitch.
Perfect pitch. Split the outside edge. So Edwin's had 3 consecutive long innings here. 4th inning. 16 pitches, not that many, and then 15. Started this inning with 70. But when men get on base, he slows it down to his pace. He's going to handle this thing like he wants to. Runners on the move and the bases are loaded.
Good trip by Mike Maddox right now. Game plan, what do you want to do? Big situation. Basically the ball game right here, right now. And Marisnick hit a slider last time for the home run, but that doesn't mean you don't throw it again. You just throw a better one, and Edwin's slider's been good tonight. So go back to the 5th inning. This is what we're talking about. Jake Marisnick going deep. His 15th home run of the year. There's the StatCast on it. 393 feet, 103.4 high launch angle at 36 degrees. StatCast is brought to you from Fios by Verizon. Fios is not cable. We're wired differently. Go to getfios.com today. I think you throw him a slider again. You just make sure it's down and away. He's looking for a fastball because he knows he hit a slider out.
Leadoff double, and 2 outs later. 2 walks in the inning, 1 intentional. Swing mode on a 92 heater.
Oh, he's guessing fastball and got it. This is the ball game. The Nats don't have the firepower they used to be able to come back from a big deficit without Turner, Worth, and Harper in there. Before, if you know, a base hit, even a gapper here, you're thinking, well, they're going to come back. A little different lineup.
So Matt Albert's getting hot. Things tightening up from when they were earlier in the evening.
I'm telling you, the slider works if you keep it down the way. If he has confidence in throwing it right here, because Marisnick's going to be all in on a heater, and he's going to be swinging hard. You got 1 home run under your belt, you're thinking 2. Almost got George Springer in the on-deck circle. I like this. Go talk about it. Get on the same page. Maybe go no sign so you don't have to worry about any shenanigans. I don't think they're going to go sign here, are they? Here we go.
You ever say no sign and then just flash a few anyway, just to
You could
see if anything's going on?
Yeah.
Looked like, I mean, Matt was getting a little antsy back there.
Yeah.
Didn't have anything to do with his mitt in his hand.
Like when you take a picture, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah. Plenty to do this time. 2-2 is the count with 2 outs. And time had been requested by the hitter and given by Jeff Kellogg, no pitch.
Well, you tipped your hand. Do you throw a fastball here? Or do you mix it up? But if you're hitting, is he going to throw the same pitch or is he going to throw something different? They used to always mess with me as a hitter.
Pretty much the same pitch, up and in, 3-2. Runners on the move here. Big juncture of the game. Edwin getting to the end of his line and
close.
Yeah.
Boy,
I mean, you're seeing 3 pitches that could have been called strikes.
If you have huge guts right here, you can get him with the slider.
Crowd standing. High fly ball. That thing doesn't hit the girders. I don't know if one ever will. Wieters under it, and he's got it. And now Nats starters for the 11th time in the last 13 games have gone at least 6. Took a while for Edwin. Still 2-1. What a ball game. 2-6-0 Astros, 1-4-0 Nats. Got some Geico highlights for you. So on the heel of those looks at the ball game tonight, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com. See how much you could save. Lind, Rendon, and Wieters. Nats have been winning ball games lately without a ton of offense. 4 runs last night, 4 Sunday in San Diego. Lost a ball game with 1 on Saturday. Had 7 on Friday, 2 on Thursday. And the Nats box. A run back in the second on the Stevenson 1-out double. And then the Defoe sac fly. 1 hit later after Howie Kendrick dropped one into center. Since then, 1 up the middle ground ball by Ryan Zimmerman. Hit and a walk. Fiers has retired 8 of the last 9.
How good is Edwin Jackson getting out of that? That's veteran advanced stuff right there. Crowd on their feet on the road. Huge out to keep your team in the ball game. And these games, even though both teams are at full strength, have been awesome.
That's a series we kind of circled on the calendar a couple of months ago and couldn't wait to get here.
Yeah, 4-3 thriller last night with that huge double play in the 8th. 2-1 tonight. Edwin getting out of a big jam. It's good stuff.
Adam Lind went up to try to tomahawk one high and far somewhere. Nasty on the hook. Strikeout number 5, his first since the 4th inning.
Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers donate $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 home runs hit by the Nats this year. Lexus, experience amazing.
Rendon 0 for 2, a strikeout and a bouncer to third.
Very good pitch.
Anthony out ahead of that one on the attack. Pass ball upstairs, foul tipped. Strikeout number 6.
I think Fiers felt something on that pitch. Did you see him react? Kind of winced and reached for his back. And he's reaching for his back again. Something happened on this pitch. Watch the pitcher after. See that look right there and kind of reaching for his back and stretching out? Might have felt something on that strike 3.
Nats waiting for this guy to make a mistake over the heart of the plate. He's been pretty fine all night long. 1-1. Wieters 2 swinging strikeouts.
And Matt hit that home run on a fastball last night, and the Astros are softballing him tonight. Everything's slow.
Francisco Liriano and the right-hander Joe Musgrove.
Weird that I was talking about a Sports Illustrated cover jinx.
Yeah.
For the Dodgers. And they gave up one hit tonight.
And lost.
To the solo homer, the 10th to lose. Weird.
Wieters goes upstairs and hits a fly ball to Marisnick. And the Nationals go pretty quietly in the top of the 7th. Astros will see if Fires is okay. He's been pitching great. Minor league updates for you when you have insight. You know how to handle your finances with confidence. Brought to you by PNC Bank for the achiever in you. So we update Jason Worth, now 3 games, couple of hits, 2 walks. Trey Turner is still looking for his first knock, but don't worry about that. The big thing is he can swing the bat, he can throw. That is not something to worry about. Edwin Jackson, 6 innings, 2 runs on 6 hits. Walk 3, 1 intentional, a strikeout, 95 pitches, 58 strikes. Matt Albers invites you to choose a winning team for your vehicle. Jiffy Lube for value and convenience. JiffyLubeDC.com. .34-year-old right-hander making his 47th appearance. Top of the order for the Astros, Springer up there hacking. George Springer, 1-for-1 career against Matt. Astros leadoff guy, 2 balls in the air tonight, and a bouncer by the mound, taken care of by Murphy. Had a base hit in his first at bat last night. with a walk, 0 for 6 since. Good looking pitch, outside edge, just missing. 2-1.
Best bathroom break between innings ever. Ran into my favorite player in the history of the game, Craig Biggio. He's here tonight. Guy that just played the game the right way. Played as hard as he could every day. Maybe the hardest of any superstar player I ever saw. And guess what we talked about? Breaking up double plays. And how you can't do that anymore. And he was the best at it. I mean, I've referenced him on the broadcast, but you knew when he was on first base, he was coming to get you. I just love the way that guy played baseball. One of my favorite players, if not my favorite player ever.
You know, and sometimes we forget about him when we discuss Robin Yount and George Brett and all the other guys who spent their whole career with one team. Biggio had a couple of opportunities to go elsewhere. Stayed here, Hall of Fame. Classy gentleman. Astros box. Their runs in the fourth on the Altuve triple. That was deflected by Stevenson away from Michael A. Taylor. Reddick the sac fly. And then the Jake Marisnick long home run high and deep to left center with 1 out, 5th inning. Here's Alex Bregman, 1 for 3.
There's been some Hall of Fame bathrooms. Oh, Mike Schmidt in Philadelphia, now Biggio here. You need to go to the bathroom more. It's like going to Cooperstown.
Well, if I'd went, there'd be nobody in the booth. They'll call me the camel for nothing. Matt Albers and Bregman matching up for the first time. Two-one.
Good pitch.
Yeah, that's really boring in on the right-hander.
I mean, you fall behind. What do? You locate a sinker underneath someone's hands. You know, Bregman can't get to that. And when he has to make his decision, it's a strike. But by the time he swings, it's a ball, just because of all the movement. You see that out of the hand, you're like, that's right down the middle. And with all the arm side run, ends up being right on your hands.
Two with 1 out, right down the middle that time with some run on it. Maybe thought that one was going outside. 2 down.
Yeah, looking in, obviously, if you take that one, and he knew it. Good pitch, good sequence by Matt Albers after following behind.
Nats now have the second lowest bullpen ERA this month, with the big three coming aboard. Kinsler, Madsen, Doolittle. There's Matt Grace looking to pitch for the first time since he made that rather heroic effort starting in San Diego over the weekend. We knew he'd be unavailable for a couple of days and ready to roll tonight. Maybe for Reddick, who's on deck. Altuve with 2 outs here. He's 1 for 3 career against Matt Albers. One for 7 in the series. It's running like crazy.
The same pitch he got Bregman 2-1. Fastball. Altuve sees it on the plate. By the time you swing, it's on your hands. Another good pitch. Fouled it off his back quad, I think. And he's still hurting. I don't know who Jose Altuve was telling to hold up, but maybe he thinks there's a runner on. Because after Matt Wieters picked it out of the dirt, he held his hand up for the runner to stay. You'll see hitters do this every now and then with the runner on. Watch. Stay. You're good. Wait. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's nobody on.
Not a bad habit.
Well, everybody listened. It was on, which was nobody.
3-2 now. Albers lost him, and that could be it for him in the 7th. We'll see how Dusty goes.
Interesting they didn't go back to that two-seamer in after he fouled it off his quad. Everything away after that. They didn't want to double up in there.
Dusty's circling around the handrail there. Looks like he's about to come out and bring in Matt Grace.
Reddick's having a heck of a game and a half. And I think Dusty has to go to his left-hander, doesn't he?
Yep. Can't let this one slip away with a bad matchup. So it'll be Matt Grace and Josh Reddick when we come back. 2/3 of an inning for Matt Albers with a strikeout and a walk. 1-1 game, bottom 7. Middle game of the 3-game series, and the Nats trying to keep this a 1-run affair with the bottom of the order coming up in the 8th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. They think clouds will be rolling in big time from the Gulf here in the next 24 to 36 hours.
Check out the conductor on the train getting the crowd going.
Hope he holds on.
Yeah, I hope he didn't fall.
That's a long way up there.
And why does the beef wagon have oranges in it?
Mr. Ryan's name's on that beef wagon. Here's Matt Grace. It'll be his 31st appearance overall. 35 hits in nearly 39 innings. 23 Ks, 16 walks.
Well, Altuve got to keep him close. He's going for his 30th stolen base. Be the 6th consecutive season with at least 30 steals. And Cesar Cedeno had more than 5 seasons of 30 steals. He posted 8 in 9 seasons from 72 to 80s. Remember Cesar Cedeno?
Well, he could hit the power, play great outfield and run. Some kind of talent.
Now you paint yourself into a corner. If I'm on first and I'm up by 1, you throw over 4 times in a row, you got me. I'm going first move right here. And if Ryan Zimmerman throws me out at second, so be it. Here I go. I mean, as soon as you lift up your foot, I'm going right here because you ain't thrown over 4 times.
Grace was pretty quick to home there.
You know, you throw over twice, Carp, I was never sure, right? He might throw over 3, but you throw over 3, I'm tipping my cap if you throw over 4. I'm going first move every time.
That one out to center. It'll fall in front of Taylor. Michael charges it well, keeps control for a moment, and then Altuve goes to third. Looked like the ball hit the bag, or it might have gone somewhere to allow Altuve to score. So that's looking like a base hit and an error on Michael A. Taylor.
Yeah, might have peaked up just a hair early. Reddick, who's hitting .316 against lefties this year, that's going to go up. It might have peaked to see if Jose was going to third. Ball kind of hit him in the heel of the glove at a free 90 feet. Not the worst mistake in the world with 2 outs. Still got to get the hitter.
First and third. Gurriel 0 for 3 with 2 balls, actually 3 balls in the air, 2 in the infield. And Grace gets him to roll a grounder out to Defoe. Short shovel to Murphy. So the Nats still very much in it. 2-1 into the 8th we go.
Now for Xbox One, PS4, iOS, and Android. Enjoy fast-paced pick up and play MLB action packed with your favorite MLB teams, ballparks, players, much more. Your breakout MLB season is here. You better come ready to play. Learn more at rbigame.com.
Nats are into the Houston bullpen here in the top of the 8th. 24-year-old Joe Musgrove. Large presence out there. 6'5", 265. He's made 15 starts. 26 game overall. High ERA. Hittable. 103 the hits in 93 innings. But he has 83 Ks.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Looks like he's a 5-pitch reliever. Fastball 93, 47%. Slider, cutter, curveball change to go with it. Still a 1-run ball game. Nats running out of time, so should we change seats?
Only one Nat has ever faced Musgrove, and Matt Wieters made the last out last inning. So it's Taylor, Stevenson, and Kendrick, top 8. Michael 0 for 2 tonight. Rips one to third. Bregman picks it off. That's a tough luck out. Michael now 3 for his last 21. Hit it sharply. Third baseman playing shallow. Nats down to 5 outs. And they still haven't had a hit since Ryan Zimmerman led off the 4th inning with a bouncer up the middle. Andrew Stevenson's been on twice.
Yeah, hit it hard. Nice play by Bregman at third. Just a nonchalant backhand on a bullet. Look at this. Pick it. Right on the money with the throw.
Strike to the rookie, who has doubled, scored, and walked. Good hook. 0-2. Looked like he held, and he did.
Dusty Baker would love Andrews' wheels on right here in a 1-run game.
Hard breaking ball down and in for the strikeout. Howie Kendrick is next.
See what Howie's got left in his bag of tricks. He's only got 1 hit tonight. And I say that tongue in cheek because you're used to him having 2 or 3, and they're usually big ones. He has been awesome.
Rips one out to right center. After it must Marisnick, and it's up against the wall. Howie Kendrick has an extra base hit, his 2nd of the night.
For a minute there, I thought he got him. Pretty good effort by Marisnick going up against the wall, but you're wondering, is this in the Astros bullpen, and do we have a tie game? Howie's thinking it right there. I'll tell you what, Marisnick is a guy that go get him. He might have stumbled right before the track. Did you see that? That might have affected the way his head moved for that ball. You see it kind of bobbling there and him wobbling the last couple of steps. There was 1 step on the grass about 3 strides before the track where he lost his balance, and that might have been the difference in the 2-out double.
All right, here's Wilmer Difo with a chance to tie the game. He has tonight's only RBI. Sac fly back in the 3rd.
Check it out. So it wasn't, watch right. There, you see the divot? And then he was wobbling. That close-up showed his head moving, and that might have been the difference. Pretty good effort either way.
Defoe has been worked over by the Houston pitching staff with hard curveballs, sliders down and in. He's got a battle on his hands, 0-2. There it is. 2 Ks in the inning for Musgrove. He's been a good setup man for them. They've got their bullpen set up. Nats have to keep it 2-1. Masson brought to you by the Lexus RX, featuring a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection. Standard. Under the lights indoors at Minute Maid Park. We're going bottom 8. Matt Gray still on the mound for the Nats. Marwin Gonzalez, switch hitter. He'll go around to the right side. So will Beltran, and then Max Stassi. Gonzalez right-handed, 250. .77 points under his average from the other side. Here comes Murphy. Got it by a step. Well played by Daniel. Never panicked on that play. And now, after a base hit, 2 in a row by Grace.
A nice play. He had to chop his steps to time it, and the exchange was quick and the throw was firm. You know, he wants to get the bottom of this big hop, so he kind of chops his steps right there and then gets rid of it all in one motion with something on it. And Ryan Zimmerman pointing right back toward him, so a nice play. And it was.
Carlos Beltran, his splits, and FP mentioned this last night, 196 right-handed. That's 70 points under his left-handed numbers. 0 for 2 tonight, an intentional walk. And Sean Kelly. By the mound again, and this time it's Defoe. That Grace, 3 consecutive ground ball outs. That's his thing.
Yeah, pitching to weak contact right now. Nicely done. Check out Mass and Nationals on Facebook to enter to win a Jason Worth or Dan Coco Peanuts bobblehead and a Nats prize pack. There it is, folks. I think it's pretty good. I like it. Visit PotomacNationals.com for tickets and Facebook.com/MassandNationals for more details.
Tyler Clippard and Francisco Liriano. And that one is not coming back. That's up into the windows. Off the bat of Max Stassi. 2 homers this year. And they've both been tape measure shots.
Well, he's a guy that likes to swing like Daniel Murphy, trying to hit the ball in the air. He keeps that elbow close to his backside, to his ribs, and swings up, and he got all of this one. That was clipped. Yeah, just over the Minute Maid sign. And you knew as soon as he hit it, it was gone. 3-1. StatCast will show you 442 feet. That was a big boy homer.
Sean Kelly will be next against a guy who homered 2 at-bats ago, Jake Marisnick. That's a guy Stassi who battled, as we said, in the minor leagues 8+ years, getting a chance to play with some of their catchers hurt. And did he smack that one? Here comes Sean.
The 3-1 Astros. 2 outs, nobody on. DC's premier fantasy football event is Saturday, September 9th. A live draft party from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Hill Country Barbecue. Great spot. All proceeds benefit the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy. Visit ScherzerShowdown.com to register today. That's a tough one to say.
Jake Marisnick goes up and gets a hit on Kelly on the first pitch. 2 for 4 night for him.
My numbers on Sean, 25th appearance only. 2 pitches, fastball, 2-seam, 4-seam. Low to mid-90s, slider to complement it.
George Springer 0 for 4, facing Kelly for the first time. Marisnick 6 out of 10. As the Astros looking for an add-on run here. Could have something going. Pretty good lead. He goes. Off-speed pitch up and in. Good throw by Wieters, but he had no chance. Marisnick, his 7th of the year.
Yeah, that off-speed pitch was a difference between safe and out, and are the Nats going to check it? Why not? But that ball took a lot of time to get to Matt Wieters. Good exchange. And did he tag him as he was going by? Didn't look like it there. And that one's not helping me much.
They put up a strike now for the call on the pitch. Springer takes a heater upstairs. 1-1. Looked like he stopped, and he did.
We got Murphy, Zimmerman, Lind, and hopefully Anthony Rendon in the 9th. So, I mean, you got to keep this a 2-run game if you have any thoughts about coming back and snatching one.
Curveball dropped in there by Kelly. That was up around the hands and the neck and the chin, and it's 2 on, 2 out.
Maybe you try that slider to get back in the zone and get your release point back out in front. Right now it's a little bit late and he's missing up and in. Sometimes that off-speed pitch will slow you down and get you back right.
There it is. Ends up low in the zone. Good pitch. 1-1. It's real borderline when we see it at the bottom of the pitch cast box. Got the call. 1-1. Throws another, and that's blown away.
So is Clippard for the save?
He has one as an Astro.
Yeah, if you missed it last night, he's only the 3rd pitcher in Major League history to have 3 saves with 3 different teams this year. Ted Abernathy in 1970, the last guy to do it.
2-2 pitch. On a fastball, high and deep to left center. And Sean Kelly has given up his 11th homer in 20 innings. And the Astros have blown it apart here in the 8th.
The 16th home run for Bregman, and it's a fastball down and in. Short, compact swing. And you could tell by the sound that that one wasn't heading back.
Jose Altuve 1 for 3 with a walk. Also 1 for 3 with a double, career against Sean Kelly. Three-one pitch hit out to Defoe. Astros have their biggest inning of this series, scoring 4 on a pair of home runs. Now the Nats down by 5 with Murphy next. The Clipper was all set to go. Now that it's not, the Nats will be facing 33-year-old left-hander Francisco Liriano. Been in the big leagues since 2005. This will be his 311th appearance. That's what he's done for the Astros this year, making 18 starts.
I traded over in the trade deadline, so got moved to the bullpen as an Astro, so they traded for him. He was a starter. Now he's in the bullpen. Remember, he was with the Pirates as a starter. Now, I don't know if he's excited about being a reliever, but that's what the Astros needed him for, and that's why they got him. So fastball, slider change. Fastball averaging 93 miles an hour.
Nats haven't had many big innings lately. Murphy to try to get one going here. Lefty-lefty matchup. And Daniel is 1 for 5 career with a walk against Liriano.
You know, as a hitter, you're thinking down by 2. Come on, you know, we're 27 games over. This is what we do. We're right in this. But down by 5, that takes the wind out of your sails. I mean, you're still going to concentrate and try to get your base hits. But, you know, the atmosphere in the dugout is probably what you're feeling at home if you're watching. You know, you're fired up thinking, okay, another comeback. Let's get the lead and have it handed over to the doctor. But down by 5, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's deflating. Daniel Murphy 1 for 3 tonight. In the series, 1 for 7. Murphy guides the base hit where nobody is standing over by third base. 2 for 4 tonight and hit number 140 for Daniel Murphy.
That was beautiful. Talking about putting the ball in play with 2 strikes and just playing some pepper. Fastball away. Look at that. I mean, if that is the definition of playing pepper, look at the swing. Knock. 2 for 4. Thanks for coming. Might have hit on the chalk. Did you see that, the first bounce? That's how deep he let that ball get.
Ryan Zimmerman, like Murphy before that at bat, also 1 for 7.
I mean, now you would be talking about the tying run at the plate in the form of a guy with 29 homers.
Nets have their 6th base hit. They've given up 10 tonight. Zimmerman, and that is a double play ball despite the wide throw to Altuve from Gonzalez. Johnny Holiday. Ray Knight in the studio. WB Mason presents Nats Extra postgame when this one's over. Adam Lind. Fastball sails up and in. Lind 2 career hits, 6 at bats against Liriano. Taking all the way, just trying to get some kind of count going here. Nats need runners. Good breaking ball. Crowd of 23,434, about 7,000 under their average. Coming to their feet now in a close game that became one-sided. And that's to Gonzalez. The Nats go quickly in the top of the 9th inning. Astros draw even in the series. It'll be up to Steven Strasburg tomorrow to get the Nats a series win. All Astros going away tonight. Final words from Minute Maid Park in a moment.